Fantasy Slant. We are about to work through your problems, get you guys a win for the week, and make sure that you're set up with everything with an active players, where you need to make swaps, and matchup questions. So as you're watching, get your questions in. If you're stuck between a couple of players, we're going to be here to help you make those decisions and push you over the top for that W. So John will be joining us here as soon as the Patriots finish losing to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Why he's watching it, I don't even know. I'm going to be honest with you. But it's all the same. 2 minutes left in that game. Should be over pretty quickly. But yeah, this was an absolute bum fight of a game. If you're watching it still, congratulations. That's determination and willpower to watch this one. Absolute battle of two terrible teams. So not anything to get too excited about there. 1-2 teams, and I'm sure John's going to be all excited about Drake May looking good in a game against the horrific Jacksonville Jaguars. But we'll wait and see what he has to say about that. So as we're waiting for people to jump on and for John to jump on, I am going to do some updates as we're waiting. Make sure everyone can find us. So again, if you're watching, please get your questions in. I'm just going to add some YouTube tags, as you know, so people can actually find us, and especially with all of the competition out there, even though I think if you're watching, you know that this is the best and only place you need to be at. But unfortunately, everybody hasn't found us yet, right? A lot of fish in the sea, but excited for it and looking forward to spending another Sunday morning with you guys. So, all right, get a couple of things in here and wait for everybody to start rolling in. Let's see. Football 2024 starts 6. Sorry if you hear my kids out there. They're constant maniacs. If you have kids out there, you completely understand that one, I'm sure. But yeah, it's its own world, and we're just living in it. So, all right, got some tags put in. Perfect. So let's start talking some games that are upcoming. Make sure that you're getting ready to go and you're targeting the right spots. Again, if you've got DFS questions as well, we're going to talk about some matchups. So get them all in, and let's win this week. Let's make sure that you win this week. So let's obviously this Patriots Jaguars game is going to end with the Jaguars getting their second win of the season. So Seahawks Falcons. This is actually a very intriguing game. Falcons have been squeezing some games out, right? Winning by the skin of their teeth type situations. They are 4-2. It's a much improved football team. We all know that. Seahawks have been struggling. They've lost 3 in a row. Look really out of sync. Just not that great. But defense got a little healthier. That's going to help out. Kenneth Walker's playing. It's his birthday. I don't know if he just wants to play on his birthday or if he's actually looking to really contribute. We'll see. Don't trust it, though. Keep an eye on it, but Zach Charbonnet should get a bigger bulk of the carries in this one. So keep an eye out for that game. I would be hesitant on starting Walker against the Falcons. I don't love the health and I don't love the matchup. So be wary of that one. But on the Falcons side of the ball, Seahawks defense is spotty, right? Like sometimes they look really good. And man, other times they could just fall off. They're dealing with a lot of injuries still. So I still feel like it's a good opportunity at home for an early game for a West Coast traveling team to take advantage of that. So I think Bjorn should be good. All your starters there should be good. And I really like what we've been seeing from Darnell Mooney. So Mooney could be a really nice sneaky play in this one as well against this team. Seahawks are going to have to score points. We know the Falcons offense can. And since their defense has kind of been slacking, I expect this one to be higher scoring. And so does Vegas at 51.5 points. One of the highest totals we've seen so far this season. And quickly going through, surprisingly, just one more game that they've got at that level. That's interesting. I say it's interesting because the other one is the Panthers and the Commanders game. So I assume they're expecting the Commanders to score like 47 points in that one. So that should be an interesting one. But as far as the Falcons go, stardom, I like Mooney as well in this one. Like I said, Kyle Pitts is still completely hit or miss. So throw your dart at that one if you have to, but you never know what you're going to get from Kyle Pitts. And I don't think we ever will. It's just a dart throw, right? So Seahawks side, DK is still the main target there. You're going to want to start him. They're going to have to score points. So I like the offensive side of the ball for the Seahawks in this one, fantasy wise. I think they're good. They're good starts for you as well. So Charbonnet should be good. Like I said, it's hard to say which way you're going to go with Kenneth Walker coming off the injury, not expected to play, but now he's playing. So if they're saying he's okay, he's probably okay, but use caution in that one and go with that. But I'm going to take the Falcons to go to 5-2 at home. I'm going to see if my theory remains that West Coast traveling teams in an early game slot tend to slack off, at least for the first half. So I'll keep an eye on that one as that game goes on. But Falcons should be able to take that one. Going on, Titans and Bills. This is going to be a blowout. There's no Will Levis. Not like he's good, right? He's not going to be the reason they won this game, but they're already down a quarterback to start the game. Don't love that. Bills should absolutely just roll in this one. James Cook is back, and he'll be getting the bulk of the carry. So Cook's going to be a really nice start in this one. Buffalo's an 8.5-point favorite. That is way too low. Way too low. They are just going to blow the doors off the Titans today. Tajay Spears is also out. So Pollard will get the bulk of the carries in this. So if you've got Pollard, that should be a nice play as well, just because he's going to get featured a lot. But again, flip side of that coin is they might be out of this game by halftime and just having to throw. Hopefully they're smart and just say, you know what, we're going to lose anyway. Let's not risk it. Just run the ball, let the clock go, and go from there. I just don't see the Titans going into Buffalo and trying to compete in that one. It's just going to be really, really bad. So I think one thing worth keeping an eye on, all right, especially from a trade perspective, is Amari Cooper. He's looked absolutely terrible. He's got trampoline for hands. Everything's bouncing off of him. It's horrific. So was that Deshaun Watson, or is it just the fact that Amari Cooper's been playing for quite a while and isn't quite the player that he used to be? Now he's got to try to catch passes from Josh Allen, who I would argue throws a little bit faster than Deshaun Watson does. So with that, is he going to catch it, right? So keep an eye on what Cooper does today. Obviously, he's going to want to play his best, but could be a good trade target if you're looking for a receiver in a better situation than they were, to get a little bit more out of that. So that'll be a good one to watch. But I think, the Bills are just going to roll in this one. Not a ton there to target. And let me just take a look real quick. Cleveland Hines. Minnesota. Where is it? Here we go. And Traylon Burks is out too. So Calvin Ridley, Tyler Boyd, they're going to get targeted a lot. But Mason Rudolph starting in his place, that does not give you warm fuzzies. So again, we'll keep an eye on this game, see what it does, and go from there. Another touchdown, Tank Bisbee. Touchdown for the Jaguars. So nice. I started Tank today in my flex and got a 2-touchdown performance out of it. Very nice. Very nice. Okay. Thank you, Tank. And we'll see if John continues to watch with 1:40 left in this game. I don't know. I don't know what he's watching for anyway. Let me see. I think he's jumped on now. He did jump on. All right. Let me pull John in here, and we will talk about some stuff. I wouldn't want to watch this game anymore either. So he's here a little bit early to join us. What's up, buddy?
How we doing, Joe?
Welcome to the Fantasy Slant.
Thank you.
Real great game there in London against I think what you would like to call a bum fight.
Yeah. It started out so well. Patriots jumped up 10-0. Aggressive play calling. Um, and I don't know what happened. The defense kind of fell apart. The defense. There was a punt return for a touchdown. So those don't hurt when you already can't score a lot of points. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
defense only gave up a couple touchdowns, which was fine. I don't know. Kind of disappointing. I don't understand the aggressive play calling in the first quarter. Not a lot of Ramondre at all. Hasty did play well, but I just don't. I don't know. It was a confusing game to watch. That's
Yeah.
all.
Yeah. Well, I think it's also clear that I think no matter what, and this is kind of weird to say, because we both love him a lot, but I think it's the end of the Travis Etienne show in Jacksonville. I mean, after Tank today, like,
Yeah, I mean, I don't. ETN's coming up on what is his fifth year option next year, right? Because he was drafted. Was he drafted the same year as Lawrence?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, so he should be in year 4, I believe. Why would you pay him?
right,
You know
right.
what I mean? Why would you?
He's gonna be moving on. So,
Yeah.
and yeah, Tank just looks better. I don't know. Last time, well, before that touchdown, he was at 98,
28 for 118 and 2 touchdowns. Yeah.
118. And
ETN
just
hasn't done that in a while. He
right,
just hasn't.
right. Yep. So I think that's you're seeing the coming out party for Tank. I think in this one, he's kind of been putting up numbers quietly, but nobody watches a Jacksonville game. So the fact that they're the only ones on, people actually saw who he was. But yeah, he looks good. I threw him in my flex this week, and that's working out very nicely for me. So
May's getting some good garbage time right now. They're moving the ball pretty well, but it is the end of the game, so his stats are going to look probably a lot better than they would have. I'm hoping for a Ramondre touchdown from the 1 because I have him in a 3 touchdown parlay. I thought Ramondre would get in today, but not too sure what happened. But he's had a few carries, but
gave Hasty his looks like.
Well, not running the ball, catching the ball, yes. I mean, Hasty only has 2 carries. They only ran the ball 15 times, and I didn't understand when they were up 10-0. Why don't you stop pounding the ball?
Yep.
That part I didn't get. I mean, I love the aggressive play calling, but you're up. You know what I mean? I just don't understand.
John,
you're winning. Hold the ball.
You don't have Bill Belichick anymore, so welcome to the coaching circus where you question everything.
I just don't understand that part.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I understand if you're down 10-0 or even 16-0 maybe, 17-0, whatever. But like you were up 10-0 and still weren't running the ball. Maybe Ramondre's hurt. I haven't seen him. Hasty's been in. He's in this whole drive. I hope he tires himself out when they get to the 1 and Ramondre runs a garbage touchdown in to keep that parlay going. But we'll see.
Right,
Never too early for vodka and cranberry juice, Joe.
No, it's not. So, all right. So I kind of just went through a couple quick games so far. So nothing much, but if you want to hit on Seahawks, Falcons, and Titans, Bills, we talked on. Nothing real, especially in the Titans game. That's just going to be Mason Rudolph starting, Tony Pollard, but they're probably going to get blown out. So I said, Cooper's somebody to keep an eye on, especially for trade bait, if he can actually stop using his body as a trampoline and catch things instead. But, yeah.
I think Atlanta-Seattle's going to be somewhat high scoring. I think that'd be a fun game to probably put some DFS players in there. The problem is, which ones do you put in? Do you put in Algier this week, or do you put Bijan this week? Do you put Mooney? Do you put Drake London? Kyle Pitts is only like 5,200, I think, on DraftKings. Yeah. So, I mean, it's not too bad.
He's a complete dart throw each and every
week.
Well,
and to me, they all are. You got what's that other wide receiver for Atlanta? Not Ray Ray.
Oh yeah, McLeod.
Yes, so he gets involved sometimes. Yeah. So it's like Who is it going to be? So probably take the quarterbacks. I think the quarterbacks will throw for quite a bit today.
Yeah, I like Mooney. From the games that I've watched, he just looks for Mooney when things are
He
tight, which
does.
is kind of weird because
He does.
everybody else he has on that team, you'd think you'd go to first, but Mooney seems to be his guy in tight situations that
Yeah.
Kirk's looking for. So that was the one player I was saying I do like in that was Mooney as kind of a sleeper play there, but in a game that
Yeah.
could potentially be high scoring. But
No, agreed.
yeah,
Agreed. Yeah.
that's a good one. And they are actually a 51 over under, 51 and a half over under. So
Yeah.
highest point total tied with as I'm assuming that you'll just know off the top of your head without a second guess is the Commanders and Panthers game is also 51 and a half, which
What's the Green Bay Houston game? I think that one's going to be up there too.
that one is 48 and a half.
Yeah, I figured that one would be up there
So,
too.
yeah.
I thought you were going to talk about the Green Bay Houston game.
No, that was.
I mean,
that was,
how much do we trust in Andy Dalton? You know,
Right. Unless they
I-
just think Jaden Daniels going to score 48 and they'll kick a field goal for Carolina or something like that. And
I
get
just
them
have
up
a
to
hard
it.
time with that one, man. I don't know. I have a hard time with that one.
Right.
Carolina still is not that good. It's easy to shut down Andy Dalton. I mean,
No, Carolina's going to be bad for quite a while. So,
yeah.
but let's talk about some other games that are worth talking on. Well, maybe Bengals Browns. Bengals side of the ball, there's good opportunities there. The Browns are just a sinking ship at this point at 1-5. Don't expect much from that. But again, Cincy division game, maybe only 5.5 point favorites in this one. I would expect that number to be a little bit bigger.
So I teased the Browns up to 7.5, and I took them at plus 7.5. So, fun fact, I didn't realize this until the other day. Burrow plays terrible in Cleveland. Now, Garrett's back, I believe, so he's playing. Let's face it, since he isn't playing great. Yeah, I know Burrow had a huge game last game. I'm taking them plus 7.5. I teased it up a little bit. So I know Cleveland is decimated, but if Nick Chubb is truly healthy, he's going to run all over that Bengals defense. Going to run all over it.
I don't expect much from him this week coming off of that major
do.
knee injury. I think
I do.
maybe 10 carries in the game. They're not going to overdo it, though. I mean,
how healthy is he? How healthy is he?
Yeah,
he's been running for weeks. You know what I mean?
Watching
started practicing.
Watching Breece Hall come back from it last year, it took a while for him to. Yeah, it took him a good 4 games before he was really fully back up to the workhorse back in that thing. And I can't imagine, as bad as the Browns are, that they're going to push Nick Chubb to really take an excessive amount of carries at this point in his recovery. Like, the fact that he's back already off that knee injury late last season that's crazy that he's even playing, because he tore everything, right? Like,
yes.
ACL, MCL, PCL, like I think the entire knee, right, went kaboom on that. So he wasn't just recovering from one ligament tear. That's an entire knee. So I think they'll go easy with it, but we'll see. But this is also the time of year that the Bengals seem to start playing football. They do this every year. They start slow the first four or 5 games or so, and then things start to pick up. And we saw last week they put up some good numbers. It should happen again this week, in reality. So
should.
Yeah.
I went a little bit with history. It's not like the Cleveland's offense has been good for the past 3 years, anyways. So they've always played them tough. Burrow doesn't play well at the dog pound. I don't know what it is. I don't know. I don't know why I put 7.5 on that, but it probably DraftKings told the podcasters, hey, mention that Burrow hasn't beaten them in like 6 straight games.
Yeah.
So of course I'm going to bet him, and they're going to win by 52. I didn't put a lot of money on him, Joe. All right, I didn't. I kind of combined it with some. I usually do like a low risk and then a high risk. They're definitely in my high risk for sure.
Yeah. Yeah,
High
for
risk
sure.
for sure.
Um,
Yes.
okay, and then let's get to the game that it's actually I think really worth talking about. And I want to ask you a question on this one too, from a fantasy perspective, because I have been going back and forth all week on this. I have C.J. Stroud, and I have
Jordan Love.
no. Who did I? Dang it, just completely blanked out here. Let me find the team. But this game should be good as well. But I got Stroud and who did I? Right now, I'm benching Stroud for Sam Darnold against Detroit. I think it is. Let me see. Or
I mean,
this
I
week?
don't think you
No,
can
sorry,
lose
Brock
either
Purdy.
way.
I have Brock Purdy and I have C.J. Stroud. I put Purdy in against Kansas City this week. I think I
I don't
just
like Purdy at all this week, Joe. I
against
don't like
Kansas
it.
City.
I don't like. I think Kansas City's defense is their strength. I just I so my Niners when I was building, um, I took Ayuk out for who did I take Ayuk out for? Um,
Let me
who did I
preface
take him out
though.
for? I can't remember.
I do have Debo and Mason as well. So kind of a
So you need to
three-headed
pray to
monster.
God they pray well.
Yeah, but I mean I do have Stroud that I could plug back in, and they're projected very, very close. 19.04 for Stroud, Purdy 18.17. I mean, they're just less than the other. So the projections are there, but man, it's like, do I go, Purdy, Debo, Mason, or do I
I
go
mean
do I run
that's
it
a
when I
hard
run it?
one.
Yeah, or do I run it naked with CJ Stroud against
So I took Ayuk out for Mooney. I put Mooney in there. Just because I thought Atlanta's going to score a lot of points today.
yeah.
I don't think the San Fran KC game is going to be very high. Um, I think low 20s for each. That's my prediction. Who knows? I don't. What do I know? But I just don't like Purdy this week. I
Hmm.
don't. I think that Kansas City D line, they rush the quarterback with four and they get to the quarterback with four. So I don't know. I don't know how. Mason is healthy, thank God, because I am in a couple leagues where I have to play him. Um, Debo, I think Debo's a great play. I think he's the Swiss Army knife. He's always going to be involved. Um, now let me ask you: is this a 6 point touchdown league or a four? I'm
For
guessing six, right?
quarterbacks, for quarterbacks, it's 4.
Four.
Yeah.
So you're really dependent then on passing yards.
Yeah, unless he's going to rush some stuff in, but
Right.
uh, yeah, and
Joe, that's my take. I'm not telling you to change it.
yeah,
I don't like that game at all for either team. I think I took Worthy. No, I didn't even take Worthy in DFS because he was like 64. I just didn't
uh,
like it. He's extremely touchdown dependent, right? I think
yeah,
Kelsey wouldn't be a bad play in DFS today. I think if they're going to pepper anybody, it's going to be him, and
yeah.
also Kareem Hunt. I got Kareem Hunt playing in two of my leagues. I think he'll get a lot of love, but again, I don't think there's going to be a lot of scoring this week in that game.
Mm.
Just don't.
Well, taking a look at my opponent in this one, I'm going to stick with what I have because he's starting Tank Dell, so I'm not going to have him snipe all of my quarterback points
Right.
away. So I still this is the first week that I've started Purdy. I've held him just
Yep.
because I don't want people using him against me, but
No, I get it. I get it.
yeah, but I usually start CJ. I think this is going to be a fantastic game
Yep. Same here. Same here.
as well. Very high scoring, 48.5 points. Looks like we do have some rain up there in Wisconsin, so we'll see how that plays out. But Packers have looked fantastic. That offense has looked great. We did give out a little bit of bad news or bad advice last week with the Romeo Dobbs bench. But
We
again,
did.
he had 4 targets, 4 catches, 2 touchdowns. I mean,
Right.
come on. And one of them,
Very touchdown dependent. One of them was just a throw up ball
yeah,
where the D back got turned around and Dobbs
Yeah.
sat there for 7 seconds waiting for the ball to come down.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't predict that. So
No,
I
I
get
see.
it, but yeah, that was bad advice on us. Touche.
I think the call was right, but
Yeah.
it's hard to predict. I think we had the order right because he did only have 4 catches in the game,
Right. I
right?
agree.
So
I agree.
yeah, if he doesn't come down with those 2 touchdowns, he's got 4 points, 5 points because there wasn't
Yeah.
anything crazy. So yeah, I love the Texans in this one. I do think, unfortunately, that I'm going against him. I think Tank Dell will have a nice game. I think Diggs will continue to have a nice game. And CJ Stroud's going to play. This is going to be a fun one to watch just in general. Packers
I think
side,
so too.
Aaron Jones is back in this one. So Aaron Jones doesn't play for this team anymore. That's Minnesota.
Yeah. I
But
was going to say that, but that's okay. He is
yeah,
back. You are
I
correct.
I caught it as I was saying it. Like, damn it. He's been a Packer for so long that I haven't been. It was
know.
like when the Chargers moved from San Diego to LA. It took like 3 years before you stopped calling them the San Diego. So
Right.
that's kind of how Aaron Jones is. But yeah, the Packers look healthy on their side. This is gonna be an awesome game. Like, start
Agreed.
everybody in this one. DFS would be a great thing to stack both sides in this one and just go for points. But love this game. This is going to be such a great one to watch. One that's not going to be great to watch: the Dolphins and the Colts.
No, but you know what? You know what I love about this game? I'm grabbing H-Han in a few different DFS lineups. I got him starting in a few of mine. I mean, this talk about a bum fight. The over under is 43, and somehow like the Jets in Pittsburgh are lower than that. I don't know how.
I don't know how either. I don't think
I don't know how.
I don't think the Dolphins have scored 10 points since Tua has been out.
Do you know I have had Tyreek Hill on my bench for 3 weeks, and I've made the right choice, Joe. That's the worst part. I've made the right choice. Again, I got him sitting. In fact, I tried packaging. Once they said Tua was going to play Week 8, I tried packaging Tua and Tyreek Hill for David Montgomery. They laughed. I would have too. You know what I mean? I completely get it. But I submitted that to a 5-1 team, thinking, hey man, here's your combo here. Because if Tua does come back, Tyreek Hill's putting up 20, 30 points a week again. So it's just going to be way too late for me. I'm 2-4. I needed a win. I was hoping. Actually, let me see if he did laugh, because I think he did. I got to actually check that trade.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. I mean, you don't like anything on the Dolphins side of the ball. They're going to have to. They're going to have to run if they want to stay competitive. The Colts are not that great. Anthony Richardson's back, but Pittman was Pittman out this week again? Let me
No.
He's
Pittman's
active.
playing.
Sorry. He's all three of their receivers are active, but they all have issues, right? So Pittman's got a back issue. Alec Pierce has got a shoulder issue. Josh Downs has a toe. And Jonathan Taylor's out. So we're going back to Trey Sermon, who looked like absolute garbage last week. So don't love the running game. Is going to make it one-sided. And you've got your top 3 wide receivers dealing with injuries as well that you could lose at any point. And to be fair, it looks like Alec Pierce is really the only one you're confident in getting through this one, right? Like Pittman was pretty like really light workout all the way up to Friday, and Josh Downs didn't do very much at all. So yeah, it's going to be just an ugly game. Not a lot there. I don't love this game, but if you're desperate, you could give Trey Sermon a dart throw on this one. If you need a starting running back against a bad team that this shouldn't get out of control. So I think the ground game for both, John, like you're saying, HCN, should be a nice play, because I don't see this one really getting blown out by either team. So the ground game should stay effective and in play throughout this one.
Yeah. So question for you, Joe.
Yeah.
Now, you may be a little biased, because I'm going to throw a Jets name out there.
Okay.
So I do have Tyreek Hill in, because Pittman does have a back issue, and Flacco's now not playing.
Yeah.
But I got Lazard on the bench. Now, is Lazard going to play strictly from the slot now? He should, right? He's not.
They actually moved Garrett Wilson into the slot quite a bit. So
See,
last week.
that one
So
hurts then. That one hurts me then.
yeah, that's hard to say because now we're in week 2 of this new of Todd Downing, the new offensive coordinator, and he was moving Garrett Wilson around a lot. We also don't know what it's going to look like with Adams in the fold now. So,
Gotcha. No, true.
yeah, I don't know.
I'm
I would
keeping
go
Tyreek
with
Hill
I would
only
go with
because of
Tyreek.
ceiling. Only because of ceiling.
Yeah, I would
I
stick
am
with
so
Tyreek.
far behind in this league, and I'm 2-4.
Yeah,
I need to hope that he breaks some big ones out. Looks like
Yeah.
we got a. Looks like
Yeah.
morning. How are we?
Guy who burps. Fair enough.
I just did. I'm with you, man.
Yeah, that will happen. But good morning. Get your questions in if you're watching. Don't just say hello, but let us know what you need. He's good. Ah, okay. Well, thanks for stopping by and saying hi at least.
Yeah,
Let's
what you
get
got? You got any good fantasy questions,
Yeah.
advice?
Get it in here as you're. I don't think we have a fantasy guy here, so.
No, that's okay. It all depends. I guess it all depends what I eat. Of course, if I'm drinking seltzer or beer, I don't know.
I don't know. Let's stick with fantasy here. Let's talk another really good game. Lions and Vikings. The Lions and Vikings game is going to be fantastic.
I think it's going to be fun to watch.
I am starting Sam Darnold this week, which is it hurts, but at the same time, this should be a really high scoring game, 50.5 point over under. So that's going to be a really good one, I think, to watch as well. I'm surprised this has got to be the featured early game on Fox, right? I mean, if they go to the Dolphins and Colts or maybe Falcons Seahawks too. Damn, Fox has got two good
That's
games.
why I love Sunday Ticket, Joe. I still get it every year. So
do I.
Always will.
Even though the Jets have like 6 televised games this year already, and I still have Sunday Ticket. But
I get it because my sons can watch it. You can hook up 3 TVs, so they're away, so they get to watch every Pats game. So it's kind of nice.
Yeah. So, but this one is going to be a fun one to watch. I mean, really, just start everybody in this one.
Yep. Agreed.
Start your studs, Montgomery, Gibbs. Everybody should be involved for whoever is going to win this game.
Yeah.
So, and this is a huge game in the NFC North. I mean, 4-1 Lions, 5-0 Vikings. Lions need this game to try to win that division because if the Vikings go 6-0, I don't know who's going to be stopping them anytime soon. So,
Nothing pleases me, Joe, to see an ex-Jet quarterback 5-0 right now. Not gonna lie,
isn't it insane?
I absolutely love it. I just love it. Sorry, I shouldn't find joy in that, but I just have to.
It really lends credence to what we've been saying for the last couple of years. Give quarterbacks time to develop, right?
Yes.
I mean, Sam did not look like this when he played for the Jets. He did not look like this in Carolina. Nope. But, what are we in for him? Year 7 probably now? 7 or 8, somewhere around there. It takes a little bit of time. I don't care if you're a first-round draft pick that comes out. Stability and time. And then you don't have to worry about a quarterback for 20 years. Like, just
Agreed.
Give it a little bit of time, right? So, but yeah, it should be a good one. Justin Jefferson, Addison, love all of it. And I should say, I don't know if I've said this yet, but Aaron Jones is back. So he's healthy this week. So he'll be playing as well. So I love, I'm going to be definitely, even if you're watching Red Zone, I imagine this is going to be probably featured more than most of the other games back and forth.
So normally I'll put on like Red Zone for a while, but I think I'm going to put on that block of 4. You can pick that block of 4 games and kind of go from there. That's what I think I'm going to do today.
Yeah, I mean, because you're going to want to watch this game: Lions, Vikings, Texans, Packers, Seahawks, Falcons, and who's your block of 4? Eagles, Giants.
Yep.
Bengals, Browns.
I'll probably put on the Bengals, Browns only because I bet them. Fair
enough. So, good games in the morning for sure. Eagles Eagles Giants game again, like guy who burps says, Saquon, right? I mean,
Agreed.
Saquon homecoming game. If you don't think Saquon's going to have a chip on his shoulder and put up numbers today, you have lost your mind. He is going to be hungry. And I mean, Eagles Giants, Sirianni's going to feature him and just
Yeah.
feed him and just shove it down the Giants' throat, right? Like, take every inch and really stick it to the Giants fan. So I think Saquon is going to go ballistic today. Um,
I
even
couldn't
if
agree
even if
more.
the game is completely out of control, Saquon will still be running the ball. I mean, if he hits 200 yards today, I'm not going to be shocked in the least. So
So,
it's
two of my DFS running backs, I found a diamond in the rough for tight end. I'll tell you on the side. I don't want to mention that in case any of my friends that play in our DFS league are watching, but I'm able to get Williams and Barkley today for my two running backs. 8,200 each, and I have no problem doing it because I
wow.
think they're just going to go insane.
Okay. Okay.
Just going to go insane.
That's
I know it's a bold, bold statement, but I'll tell you what, I think I got to do something. You know what I mean? I got
are
to
you
do
saying
something.
Kyron Williams?
Yep. Kyron
He's
Williams and Saquon.
he's at
And
8,800.
no, he's at 81. Barkley's at 82, and I got HN in my flex for 67 in DFS. And then I
Wow.
peppered some. I hope like I peppered Leggett for wide receiver. I figure they're going to be playing from behind. I took up Judy. I think someone has to catch a football today. Somebody has to, even if it's garbage time. And I got the red rifle going for me today. I
Oh
got him.
Lord. Okay. Well, hey, they're saying 51 points. It's got to come
They
from
are.
somebody.
So I hope it's from Carolina. I hope
Okay.
it's from Carolina.
Okay. They're going to have to score at least a couple points. So,
They
yeah.
they do. They have to do
Right.
something, right? So
Okay. Okay. I'm really surprised Kyron Williams is that high on a Rams team that's decimated. And we'll see if Cooper Cup comes back today. There's talk of it, but they're still saying,
well, they're playing the
well,
Raiders, and he scored in 9 straight games. It's gonna be that high. It's
okay.
got. And Cooper Cup's not
Yep.
playing. He's out.
He is officially out.
He is. He is not playing. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, he's getting close though. At least he should be
Yep.
back. Um,
Right when I'm
should be
one and
back.
six, I hope, in my other yearly fantasy league.
Whew, that's a tough
Him,
start.
CMC, I'm gonna get all these guys back when I can't make the playoffs. It's gonna
Yeah.
be great.
Yeah,
Looking forward to it.
one of mine. I have Christian McCaffrey. He's been on IR, and I also have Nico Collins. Like I told, I do auction drafts only, so I can
Yeah.
target who I want. Uh, I don't like missing out on guys that I want just because
Gotcha.
of where I pick. So I like doing auction drafts for that point. But I went McCaffrey and Nico as my number ones on the running back and wide receiver, and they're both on the IR. So not
One of
I'm
those years, brother. One of those years,
yeah.
man.
But surprisingly, I'm still in the mix. So I got to
Good.
tell you that team. Which one is it? It's this one. So currently in this one, I am in 7th, but I'm like one game out of being in 4th. So it's still close. But still going Purdy, Debo, Williams from Detroit there. I picked up Mason soon as that was announced week 1, and Dobbins I've got as well. So and I picked up Tank Bisbee. So
Nice.
yeah. Oh, and I have CD Lamb in this one, who's on a bye this week. So my top 3 guys are on a bye. So most of my budget went to McCaffrey, CD Lamb, and Nico Collins. I spent most of
It
my
just
budget.
hurts, doesn't it? It
Yeah.
just hurts.
Right, which is why I was able to scrape Dobbins up for like $1 at the end of the draft, but as a dart throw, and that's been working. But I also have Jordan Addison. I picked up Cole Kmet and Dallas Goedert on the waiver wires because I got Conklin as my tight end, and I really needed an upgrade. So, of course, no Goddard today, and Cole Kmet's on a bye. So that doesn't help, but maybe moving forward, if I can just if I could just hang on, just kind of float in the middle until I could get Nico and McCaffrey back, and I can make a run at the end. So
There you
my
go.
goal is to just tread water, try and squeeze out a couple wins, and keep pushing forward till I get my studs back. I am projected to win this week, though, thanks to Tank. So that's good. All right, but let's go.
Frank the Tank, baby. Frank the Tank.
Eagles, Giants in this one. Besides that, anything you're really targeting?
No, and honestly, I think that will be a close game for a little bit. And when I say a little bit, the first quarter, and then you're probably gonna. I mean, I hope the Giants keep it close because I'd like to see Saquon go absolutely nuts today, since I got him in a few different places. But we'll see. We'll see.
And I'm not. I don't know if I'm going to give away your guy here, but I kind of like Grant Calcaterra in this game at tight end. So could be a cheap guy, especially in DFS. Could be a cheap guy to pick up, but with Goddard out, that's he's actually gotten nothing extensive, but he's not a bad play, and I imagine he is really really cheap in here, but he has been targeted. So in Dallas Goddard's absence. So on the Giants side, nothing that you really feel good about in this.
No,
one.
Neighbors is back, but he's probably going to be peppered quite a bit if I had to guess. So
yeah. If you've got Neighbors, you're starting him just because they just throw to him exclusively, basically. So easy PPR monster right there. But in this game, go that way. Tickets, you can catch this game for only $104.
That actually be not a bad game to go see.
And not at that price.
No.
The horrific Giants at home, $100. That's insane. All right, Raiders, Rams. This one again should be a disaster. No Devontae Adams anymore. Who do you think steps up in his stead?
Gosh. I mean, not only no Devontae Adams, I think Jacoby Myers is out today.
Pull up the injury list here.
I think Myers is out.
He's doubtful, it's saying.
So I don't think he's going to play.
So your options after him are Trey Tucker.
Brock Bowers.
Brock Bowers, of course, yes. But from the wide receivers, Tariq McAllister and DJ Turner. Those are your next.
Don't forget about Harrison Bryant, tight end, backup tight end. Go check out that price, Joe. That's my little nugget.
Okay.
Had 2 red zone targets last week.
Oh, so you're going serious dart throw here.
Yeah.
Okay.
So $2,500 tight end. I'll be happy with 1 catch for 5 yards. That's all I want. That's all I want.
Fair enough. Did you look up Calcaterra's price?
No, but I will right now.
I'm curious what he's coming in at. But for the Vegas side, Zamir White, questionable, did have a full practice Friday. So it should be a Madison White committee in that one. But yeah, Jacoby and Myers, as we like to call him, is out. He's doubtful. So probably not playing there. So yeah, Brock Bowers, again, expect a huge game from him. He is going to be the guy in this one, unless you think probably number 2, I would say dart throw on Trey Tucker.
Yeah.
That should be a cheap wide receiver that you could plug in there, and without Jacoby, he should be the number 1. What that ends up looking like, we will see. But a number 1 is a number 1, and
yes, sir.
That's not a bad play. And I bet you again, DFS probably dirt cheap in this one as well. Yeah. So otherwise, from a regular fantasy perspective, you're really not touching much. Bowers in this one, Williams on the other side. If Kupp plays,
that's weird. He's not officially listed as out, but Yahoo and ESPN both list him as 0 points.
Yeah. Well, I know he was projected to be out for a while still, so that might be why.
I wish they would announce that sooner than later, because if he does play, I want to put him in.
Yeah, and he's your afternoon game.
Rams
slate, so.
not likely to have Kupp.
Yeah. So I think we're still leaning for another week without it. So run game for the Rams is going to be a huge piece for them, and I think Trey Tucker might be a nice a nice fill-in play right here, just to give you a number one guy and a team. And the Rams aren't without Puka and without Cup. They're not blowing the doors off of anything. So this
Nope.
game should stay pretty close. Brock Bowers, like I said, big game. Trey Tucker, nice sleeper right there to grab if you need to throw a wide receiver into this game. So, moving on, the Red Rifle versus the Jaden Daniels show. What a fantastic start that he's had. I mean, obviously, you expect it. He's an ASU guy, so which is not where his career really took off. It was in LSU, but nevertheless, started there in ASU. So I'm gonna continue to own that and forks up to Jaden Daniels. But he's looked the part. Like, you know, I mean, maybe the Bears should have went Jaden Daniels number one. I don't know.
I mean, I think Caleb Williams looks good right now. I don't think I don't know. You know, we always say what if, but also the team they went to may just be perfect for them too. I mean, C.J. Stroud,
True.
Would he be any better on Carolina? Who knows?
No.
We don't know. Would Bryce Young be the same as C.J. Stroud? We don't know. He has a lot of weapons there, good O-line, but I just think it's where you go. You know, I don't know. I just think it's where you go.
Well, and especially on those bad teams. Like, to be fair, the Texans weren't that bad, right? They had all those draft picks and everything to be able to take advantage.
They were unknown. They were an
Right.
unknown. They had a good O-line, but like their receivers, Nico Collins, Tank Dell, they weren't great yet. You know, they really weren't.
Well, Nico was only 1 year in
Right.
when they drafted him. So when they drafted Stroud, they took him the year before. So yeah, they had more pieces. Like Carolina has nothing, and then you throw Bryce Young directly into the mix on a horrific team for a dude that's used to playing in Alabama, like with
It's
some
a
of the
culture
best
shock.
players in the country, and then you
The
go
culture
to
shock.
you go from the best players in the country to the worst players in the NFL, and you expect him to have a lot of success. Not going to happen, but we don't need to spend a lot of time there. But I think, Commanders, you like Jaden Daniels a lot in this one.
Sure
Andy
do.
Dalton's going to have to score, and I like your thought process on that Panthers tandem there with Leggett. But Commander side, Scary Terry looks really good. And they have a pretty nice connection going on between him and Jaden Daniels. So I like those matchups, but don't want to spend a ton of time on this one. I don't think there's a lot of targets, but the Chiefs 49ers game, Jets Steelers games round out the end, but then we got Ravens. We got double Monday night, which I like when there's bad teams on the slate, but this one, Ravens, Bucks, Chargers, Cardinals, this could be entertaining games for both sides. But Chiefs 49ers, what do you like in that one?
I like the Chiefs.
Okay.
I think a lower scoring game, but I do like the Chiefs in this one.
Okay. And Debo, I'm guessing.
I love Debo. And Debo and I think Kareem Hunt are going to be the two biggest fantasy ones. Probably with a mix of Kelsey, of course. Kelsey's, he's been getting a lot of love, but I don't know. I just see this being a lower scoring game.
Might be. I'm kind of, one other name that I'm keeping an eye on is Juju. He had a pretty nice game last week. Looked like he was targeted more than the other wide receivers. So that's one where I picked him up off of waivers. I don't know if I'm going to plug him in or not. Right now, I don't have him plugged in. But if he continues that trend, he's going to be a must start.
Absolutely.
So that's somebody to keep an eye on. And if he's still sitting out there on waivers, maybe grab him and see what he does this week. And if he doesn't do anything, go ahead and cut him. And you're no worse for the wear on that one. But this is going to be a fun one. Chiefs have to go to California. So they're the 49ers at home, Super Bowl rematch. This should be a fun one to watch for sure. So that's going to be an entertaining game. And then obviously game of the week, Jets Steelers, right? Tonight, Sunday Night Football. It's I
can't wait to watch that tonight. I just can't wait to watch that.
And it feels so good. Devontae Adams back with Aaron Rodgers. I mean,
I heard they're signing Jerry Judy next. No, not Jerry Judy. Jordy
Jordy
Nelson.
Nelson. Yeah.
Jordy Nelson, and who is the other
Yeah.
guy
I
they
saw that.
always...
Eddie Lacy.
You see that pic of Eddie Lacy? That was
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah. He looks like an offensive lineman. So,
He does.
man, way to let himself go there. But,
Come here, boys.
yeah, this is a game. It doesn't make sense. The Steelers are 4-2. The Jets are 2-4. I don't even understand it. It makes
Joe,
no
it's
sense.
this year, man. It's this year,
Yeah.
brother. This year has been wacky as hell.
Yeah, if you told me Aaron Rodgers and the Jets would start 2-4 and Justin Fields and the Steelers would start 4-2 in the AFC North, I wouldn't believe you.
And then he
At
gets
all.
benched. Then he gets benched.
And then he gets benched, yeah, for going 4-2 for Russell Wilson, which I like because I think Justin Fields is better than Russell Wilson. So I think they're making a
Agreed.
mistake here. But I'm going to take it this week, and hopefully the Jets can capitalize on it and get some stuff back in order, and hopefully Greg Zuerlein can make a field goal again. That would be fantastic. Because in reality, if he makes that field goal against Denver, that game goes to overtime. The Jets probably win because Denver couldn't score another point in the second half.
Right.
And then if he makes those field goals, the 2 missed field goals that he donked last week, that's a different game, right? Jets probably, we don't know, but at least they're playing with the lead and not trying to score to win the game, right? So very, very different outcome. So in reality, the Jets could be 4-2 as well with a couple of extra field goals from who has been a very reliable kicker. Zuerlein's been fantastic, but love Rodgers. He's going to be looking for Adams this week. Garrett Wilson is going to have a fantastic game because I think now the safeties can't focus on him because he's been getting a lot of safety coverage over the top. So that's going to be really big for them as well. So I like the Jets receivers except for Lazard. I don't know what's going to happen with that Lazard Mike Williams thing. Like, are they going to try to feature Mike Williams, get him back on track, or are they just going to stick with Lazard? I don't know.
I mean, Lazard has 5 touchdowns this year? Why not keep throwing it to him?
Because he drops just as many. So he's had a lot of drops. And you're just like, dude, come on. Yep, big catches in the end zone, but man, when you need him between the hashes, like
that does hurt.
Come on, man, come down. Same with Mike Williams. Come down with the ball, like run the right routes. But do you like the Jets or Steelers in this one?
I like the Jets. I do, and I'll tell you why. If they were playing Fields, I may go Pittsburgh, only because Fields has momentum. I think Wilson's going to come out the first week and play against that defense. I just don't, and he's not mobile. So to your point, I think Fields is better against the Jets only because he's mobile. You know what I mean? Now, can he throw as well? No, not at all. I get it. But boy, I'll tell you what, Wilson does not move anymore. And I don't know. I mean, I'm guessing Freiermuth will have a bunch of targets. I mean, Pickens maybe, but Pickens stops running his routes. So I just see Pittsburgh having a hard time scoring today.
Well, I hope so because I need a victory. And then we got a minute left, but these games are later on in tomorrow. So Ravens Bucks, that should be a fun game. Both 4-2.
I like the Bucks in that one.
At home?
Yeah. I like the Bucks at home.
I expect an absolute battle in that one.
Yeah, that should be fun to watch.
That's going to be a fantastic game. And just so many weapons in this one. The bad thing, again, is with the Ravens, like I would love to know who the tight end is. Right. That would be such a fantastic thing. But
it's going to be likely this week. It's not going to be Andrews like last week. So or their 4th string tight end. Now, who knows?
Yeah, exactly. That's the frustrating part. But Flowers is really, really separating himself as that number 1 target. It seems like. So they're actually starting to play a conventional offense where the wide receiver is the most targeted person instead of Likely or Andrews or something of that nature.
Boston College product, by the way. Flowers.
Okay, yeah. So nice piece there. And then again, let's see if Andrews continues to take his role back or if, they just continue to flip-flop and you could never start a Ravens tight end in this one. But from the Bucs side of the ball, is there any news on...
They're all playing. The running backs are all playing.
Or no, Mike Williams. Is Mike Williams... Mike Evans, is he
I
Is
think
he all good?
he is playing.
I don't see any Monday
From
night updates right
what
now.
I
So
seen earlier.
okay, so yeah, I mean, if that's the case, like you just start everybody in this one because
Yeah.
this should be an absolute battle. And then Marvin Harrison Jr. back off concussion for Monday night. Again, the only real option that they have, but or the best wide receiver option, I should say,
Yeah.
because they do like McBride a lot as well. So, but Harrison again, 2 touchdowns or 2 catches. I mean, it's feast or famine for him,
Yes. Yeah,
which is rough,
exactly. Yeah.
which is really rough. And the Chargers side of the ball, oh God, poor Chargers. But yet they're 3-2. So I guess I can't really say shit because they got a better record than the Jets do, and they don't have a wide receiver. So, but I do like Dobbins a lot in this one. So I think Dobbins should have a good game. The running game on both sides. John Connor should have a great game as well. I think
Yeah. Agreed.
running back should do really good in this one. Harrison, you got to start him if you drafted him because you probably took him as your number one wide receiver, most likely. So maybe number two, but you can go to this one for $39. Not too bad.
Now that would be something I would go to because it's warm there too.
I know.
You know what I mean? You're probably looking like mid 70s at game time. Pair of shorts, maybe a sweatshirt if it's cool out. You know what I mean? And just be comfortable. Just be comfy.
Well, it isn't it. Well, I think they can. Can they open that stadium? I don't think they can.
Yeah.
Open it.
Yeah. That was the one they could open up the roof on it, right?
I don't know. I know the Cardinal Stadium. They roll the field out.
They roll the field out.
I don't think they can open it up.
I thought they were able to open it up, but
I think it's
even better. It's climate controlled. It's probably 75 all the time. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, because it was just like 108 in Phoenix last week. So I don't think you'd want to be outside watching a football game at 100.
It was 33 here on Thursday morning, Joe. 33.
Oh, that's disgusting.
It was cold.
So yeah. Well, that's it. Bye weeks. Obviously, Bears and Cowboys. So we don't have to talk about those two. But again, that's a lot of players that you're probably going to be out. So hopefully you flex some stuff in. Glad we got some burping questions today. Hopefully we get some fantasy ones moving forward. But
be kind of nice, wouldn't it?
It would. But that's it. I mean, games are starting, so hopefully you've locked everything in and you're ready, set to go, and you win and your team wins, and hopefully the Jets win as well. So we'll see what happens. But that's it. So we'll be back again next week. Best of luck to your teams, fantasy and in real life, and have a safe week. And we'll see you back.